Om, the Light of Truth, 7th part, Chapter 4, Marriage and Family Life, Section B, where women pass their days in misery and sorrow because of the misdeed of their husbands, that family soon entirely perishes, but where they are happy because of the good conduct of their husbands, the family continually prospers. Manu. In these quotations, the word worshipped, of course, means duly honored. Let the husband and the wife, whenever they separate from or meet each other for the first time during the day or the night, greet each other with Namaste, which means I respect you. Let a woman attend to her household work most cheerfully and with great dexterity. Keep her utensils and apparel clean, her house tidy, her furniture free from dust, all eatables pure and clean. Let her never be lavish in expenditure. Let her cooking be done so nicely that the food may act on the system like a good medicine and keep away disease. Let her keep a proper account of her income and expenses and show it to her husband if necessary. Use her servants properly and see that nothing goes wrong in the house. Manu. Let a man utter what is true and what is pleasing, that is good for others. Let him not speak a disagreeable truth, not to let him speak an agreeable falsehood. This is the eternal dharma. Let him say what is good for another, even though it may offend him. In the Mahabharata, the sage Vidur says, in this world, O Dhritarashtra, there are many people who would say sweet things to please and flatter others, but rare is the man who would say or hear a truth which is unpleasant to his ears but really conducive to his good. Mahabharat, Udyog Parva, Vidur Niti. It behoves all good men to point out one's faults and shortcomings to one's face and hear their own from others. But the way with the wicked is that they talk of one's merits to one face, whilst they speak of his demerits behind his back. So long as a man does not reveal his defects to another, he cannot get rid of them nor can be acquire good qualities. Detracting from one's merits as his demerits and of his demerits as merits constitutes ninda or misrepresentation, while speaking of a man's merits as his merits and his demerits as demerits constitutes stuti, whilst untruthfulness in speech constitutes ninda. Let him constantly perform the 5 great daily duties, namely Brahmayajya, Devayajya, Bali Vaishwadeva Yajya, Pitrayajya and Atithi Yajya to the best of his power. Brahma Yajya comprises studying and teaching the Veda and other Shastras, morning and evening devotions and practice of yoga. Deva Yajna comprises the feeding of fire with clarified butter and odoriferous substances, association with the learned and the good, cultivation of purity, truthfulness, and similar other good qualities, and the advancement of knowledge. These 2 yajnas should be performed daily. It is said in the Atharva Veda, the homa used in the morning homa keep the air pure and wholesome till the next morning, while those burnt in the evening homa keep the air pure till the evening and thereby promote health, strength and intellect. Manu. Atharva Ved. He should never lead an unrighteous life. Unrighteousness practiced in this world does not go unpunished, nor does it immediately produce its fruit. This is the reason why the ignorant do not fear sin, but it must bear in mind that the practice of unrighteousness advancing slowly cuts off the very root of your happiness. Manu. As he who attempts to cross the water in a boat of stone sinks to the bottom, even so an ignorant donor and an ignorant donee sink low. In other words, are afflicted with misery and pain. Manu. It should be borne in mind a man commits a sin and thereby obtains something which he brings home, where all his family members enjoy it, but they do not suffer the consequences of his sin. It is he alone who committed the sin that reaps the consequences thereof. Mahabharat Prajagar Parva. But whatever is dependent upon both should be done with each other's approval, because the relation between the husband and his wife is such that they cannot be independent of each other. In other words, they should treat each other most lovingly and live harmoniously. They should never quarrel with each other nor commit adultery. The wife, subject to her husband's control, should be supreme in the house, whilst all affairs other than those relating to the household should be under the control of the husband. They should prevent each other from contracting vices. In other words, it should be borne in mind that after marriage, the husband and the wife entirely belong to each other. That is, their hearts, their feelings, and their bodies from top to toe become subject to each other's control. Let them never do anything against each other's wish. Of all things likely to upset their happy relations, the worst are adultery and fornication, etc. Let them avoid these. Let the husband always remain contented with his wife, and the wife with her husband. If they belong to the Brahman class, let the husband teach boys and his wife. If she be well educated, teach girls. The husband is the adorable god for the wife, and the wife is the adorable goddess for the husband. As long as boys and girls remain in their respective seminaries, let them look upon their teachers as their parents, whilst the teacher should consider their pupils as their children. Continued.